There you go, all three in the same shot. 4.
Okay, it's hard going.
5 and 6 are under your left arm. Okay, so today we decided to go ahead and apply the mite treatment. Varroa mite, or Varroa destructor is the scientific name. So part of the mite treatment, we want to affix the bottom boards, which we don't typically use because they thwart ventilation. But we put in the mite boards bottom boards to catch the dead mites as they fall. They'll have 5 days with the first treatment. So that's the first process. What's that?
Well, talk about the oil that's in there.
Oh, there is vegetable oil in the bottom of the pan, and the intent is, of course, to catch and lodge whatever falls. We don't want big, deep pools because the bees will be curious about it, and that will kill them. So they reacted to that strip immediately. I don't know.
Yeah, they did. They all left the area.
They are not happy about that. But, ladies, it is for your own good, and I apologize. Please don't sting me. Okay, so we're all opened up, ready to put the first dose in the second hive. So this might be an interesting reaction to you. The bees didn't really like it much in the first hive. They kind of evacuated the area immediately, so apparently it's effective. I don't know if it'll come out on the video, but the hum just got huge.
Yeah, it did.
You see them running away. Yeah, there. There you go.
Oh, I don't know.
You're not going to describe what you're seeing?
I was just trying to catch some of the frenzy out front. There's one doing it right now. Watch the face. I haven't really made a big point of it before, but I think there's a huge color difference between the two hives of bees. The backs of these are very black, and they're just darker in general. It's not zooming in on very well in there, but oh, that was a good one. And then he was gone. Okay, she was gone. But you can kind of see it there. Now I'm going to go over to the other hive. They are much lighter, honey colored.
So today is the 30th. It is about 65, it's almost 70 degrees out here. It is, I don't know, 1:30 in the, well, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We are at the end of the first half of the mite treatment. So we're going to check the baseboard here. And when we're done doing that, we will go through the hive and do the second half of the treatment. Let's see if it's effective. In the flow hive, down here is your bottom tray. You probably saw that a few minutes ago. That just slides out, and there is the tray. Okay, a majority of what you see is dropped pollen. That's all the yellow stuff if the colors come out. The mites are small, and they look like that. So yeah, we do have some mites, and the treatment is being effective. So I don't care if we keep
those, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Let me zoom in. Keep the pointer there.
Oh.
So we can... And then I looked up.
Okay, so you're still on. And so while they're looking around the bottom board, and feel free to cruise around the bottom board, mites are the #1 cause of colony collapse disorder. The mite themselves aren't that big a deal, but they do carry diseases, which are a very, very big deal. Mites are highly transferable. They can jump from bee to bee, and often do. So when they're swarms or mingling with other hives, whatnot, it's really easy for mites to get involved with your bees. Now, what happens is the female mite always will attach itself to a bee where it will stay for 5 to 11 days if there's brood present in the hive. If there's no brood present in the hive, then it'll stay on the bee for up to something crazy like 7 months, something like that. And the mite will be just fine. Will attach itself to the bee and live off of the bee's fat stores. They are parasites. And until it finally lets go of the bee. And when it lets go of the bee, it's going to crawl in. I said when there's brood present, it's going to crawl into a cell underneath the larvae hide just before they cap the cell and spin the cocoon. And while the cell is capped for those 11 to 14 days, she'll lay maybe 5 to 6 eggs, one female, the rest male, and they will mate as much as possible to make more mites on the larvae, which is now on its way to becoming an adult bee. And that's how they sustain. What are you doing? And once the cell emerges, the mite emerges with the bee attached to the bee, and flies away with the bee. And there's probably 3 or 4 mites on him at that point. I think that pretty much sums it up. If you have any questions, just ask. Okay, so we've had a couple of cold days, so one thing I want to check on the supplies that the bees have down there. I want to make sure the queen's okay, and I do want to move the queen excluder up the brood box so that the queen has access to the space. I want to keep her out of here because that's where we're going to feed next cycle, but not while we're doing the second treatment.
Okay, show them again where it is and where you want it.
The queen excluder right now is right here, separating the first and second brood boxes. I want to move the queen excluder up to give her access to this box, but I want to keep her out of the feeder box. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that looks like the pollen patty, but is actually the mite treatment. And there are the bees around the mite treatment. I'm getting smoked out.
Are you guys, do you want me to move it?
No. All right.
There's the queen. A couple of bees with full pollen sacs. Light pollen.
Probably from the loquat tree.
Probably. You see? Do you see him there in the middle?
No.
Oh. I was looking right in there a second ago. Very little brood, as you would expect. Hold on, this is still both of them. I only want one of the two, obviously.
Notice the change in the buzzing.
Change in the mood. Now, second brood box and queen excluder. Is in place. They don't get food this time because of the treatment, but they will start getting winter food on the next inspection.
Taking off the old one.
See how the queen is doing, make sure she's down there and happy. Sorry, I'll let you do your thing.
No, you're good. I thought I was gonna get a shot of one carrying the dead one away. She kind of came and looked at it, but then went away.
Well, I'm trying to be really careful because these are not bee gloves. These are chemical gloves because of the treatment. And they're black, which to the bees means enemy, invader. It's like, stop, I'm not trying to invade.
And there's the gecko. Come here. Oh.
He's like, this is no good. Wow, I know. Let me see if I can turn this. Actually, the whole frame is really good. See, that's edge to edge, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Really good comb this side as well.
Yes,
That
done a good job.
is a good frame. Get this one out of the way. They're working on some capped honey right there. They're working on capping. Corners, fall nectars, a little bit of brood.
Wait, say that again. A supersede cell. Is there anything in it?
Yes. It's not an egg that I can tell, but definitely it's wet. I know, you don't like the color. Good. Collecting an audience. So I do want to eventually go back to that frame, check really thoroughly for the queen, because we might need to split.
So we did not see the queen in this hive. But we did see a couple of
large oil slick I just created.
cells. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh, come on.
I was supposed to make them go down. Some of them not going down. Oh, here, hive tool, I'll scooch them down. Buzz didn't really change. They just are all flying around now.
Okay, so that was the hive inspection for 30 October. A little bit surprising because we didn't see Lulua in the far hive, but we did see 3 queen cells. One of them fully capped and developing, one of them about to be capped. It was an older larvae. And the third, I didn't notice if it was empty or dry or what. I didn't
Well, the third was just being built, so.
Yeah, third was still under construction. So, bad time of year for this, but Lalua is apparently no more in the hive. We didn't see her. We looked twice. And of course, she's marked, so she'd be pretty easy to find, but we didn't see her. We did get the first half of the mite treatment out, and the second half, not installed, but
In?
And so in about 10 days, we'll be done with that. So the next thing to do at the 10th of November is to remove the mite treatment stuff and start pushing 2-to-1 sugar water so they can start filling the cells in preparation for the winter. And that's the plan. Peaches was looking good. She may have just taken the lead just because Lalua's hive is trying to make a new queen. It's puzzling. I'm not really sure what happened to Lua. It's not a good time, not a normal time for a swarm. And the rest of the hive didn't look like they were diminished in numbers as they would have been if a swarm had occurred. She may not have survived the first half of the mite treatment, and that's all I can think of is that they made an emergency queen in the process. The weather is good for the next coming 7 to 10 days, so if a new queen emerges, she can still fly out and do her mating flights. Hopefully the drones are still there. And that'll be okay. Weather's good, so I'm not concerned there. I think that's about it. All done? All done. All right. Thanks for watching. Leave any questions you might have in the comment section, and I'll do the best I can to answer each of them. Take care.